right, welcome to the show, my great brother, Mr. Troy D. Williams. How you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast.
Man, what's good, Ron? Thank you so much for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to have you, man. It's been a while. We've since we've been able to, work together. We got some history, more great things to come. I'm praying, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
everything that we've worked on, man, it's been truly amazing, man. You're definitely one of the top actors in my book. Just your hustle, your grind, and what you be doing, man. You're not just one that just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna just be in this project and just let it do its thing. You grind it. You come on a project, you're like in that production, that producer mentality. So that's what I love about you the most. I always see you on that grind. So keep that grind up, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's near and dear to my heart. I appreciate that. I learned a
Yes,
lot from
sir.
you. I learned a
Oh
lot from
no,
you,
no, here
actually.
you go. Here you go. Don't do that. Don't put that pressure on me like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey,
But
hey,
no, man, it's great, man. I've been trying to get this interview for quite some time, and I know you've been busy, so I'm glad we were finally able to get this interview going, man, because this I'm excited about it. I'm very excited. So let's just jump in, man. Where did you grow up, and how did that have a effect on who you are today, my brother?
yeah, man. So for anyone who like kind of follows me and follows the journey, they see I give a shout out to the 941 all the time. My area code. That's Bradenton, Florida. It's a small town like Southwest Florida, right by Sarasota. A lot of people know where Sarasota is at. We have the nice beaches and everything down there. But yeah, I just come from humble beginnings, and I'm very I'm glad to be from a small town. I call it small town America because in some of those towns, man, you just learn, how to you learn just different things like respect, how to speak to people, be friendly. It's just one of those type places. And then you also learn how to move, in certain situations, where if you feel trouble is lurking, you know how to get up out of there. You
Mhm.
kind of get a feel for things, So it makes you coming from a place like that makes you very humble and
Right,
very
right.
grateful for anything that you accomplish after that.
Yes, man. And you're definitely someone that always give a shout out, to where they're from, which I love that, man, that you do that. And I know that the family and all the great friends, man, they support your work, my brother. They come ready. Every event, you stacked out, what I'm saying, with the folks
Yeah,
coming in to support. So you got a nice support, man. And as we say, it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? You have
absolutely.
a nice village around you, man. So my hat's off to them for that support. I know how important that is, even for me, to have that village around me. So,
Yeah, they
but
hold me
yeah,
down, man. They hold me down. And the one thing I'll say about Bradenton as well, like they keep it real with you too. So if you put out something that's
oh,
not good, oh, they're gonna let you
uh-huh.
know, man. They're gonna let you know. So it's not a bunch of yes people. Like these are people that
Wow,
like it's always been that way. Even when I played
that's
sports,
good.
everything, our crowd would boo us, man. And we were staking up the
Ooh,
place. So it's kind of
ooh,
like Philly, kind of. You know how they say the brotherly love?
oh
It's
yeah,
just a smaller version of that. But Bradenton, they hold you accountable, man. So they're not
yeah.
gonna just tell you something is good if it's not.
Oh man, be like I must be doing okay then. So
Yeah,
far, so
yeah, yeah. We
far,
doing good so
I
far. We
must be
good.
doing
We
all
good.
right.
We on the right path.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know you have an amazing athletic background, you know what I'm saying? And we can tell us more about that. But what did you want to be when you were a child, when you were a kid growing up? Was there certain thing that you knew you wanted to do back then?
Absolutely, man. Every like my whole life was kind of dedicated to sports, man. I always thought I would go pro. One of the unfortunate things is I only played basketball. Going up
Mm,
through all through grade school and everything.
nice.
My mom, she didn't really want me to get hurt with football. I
Right,
always
right.
had a very good brain, and I was in honors classes, things of that nature. So she knew I
Mm,
could get an academic scholarship, and she didn't want me to risk getting like a head injury or something like that. So
oh yeah.
she loves me. I understood where she was coming from. But basketball, I was on that path, man. Like
Oh
doing
yeah.
my thing, and then the issue was I stopped growing.
Oh,
So I got
that
to like
happened.
5'9". I got to 5'9". That was it, man. I was like, dang, I
Oh
should have
man.
played another sport. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what happened there. But I always saw myself as going pro in something, making millions of dollars, being able to support my family, and just creating that generational wealth that we all desire to do. So that's where I saw my life going, honestly, in the beginning.
Yes. Awesome, man. That's amazing. And just kind of to piggyback on that question, when did you know, hey, I want to do acting? When did that come about?
So it was actually different times in my life that kind of pieced it together. So, when I was in high school, I think 10th grade, actually, my sophomore year, I got stuck into this drama class for
Okay.
as an elective. Like they just stuck me in
Yeah.
it. And at this time in my life, you got to understand, I was an athlete like a jock, but at the
Right.
same time, I had this huge fear of public speaking. So I
Mm.
never wanted to be in front of the class. I never wanted to do anything. I sit in the back of the classroom. If I know
That-
the answer, I don't even raise my hand. I just want to I just want to answer it, get
Yeah.
the answer. Y'all give me my grade. I leave. I talk to my friends, but I have to get
Wow.
comfortable with people before I feel comfortable getting in front of them. So that class, it really brought me out of my comfort zone, man. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
because this how bad it was, man. Um, I looked at the syllabus right when we first got it, and I said,
Uh-huh.
"Is there any way for me to get an A in this class if I don't do these improvs like every Friday?" And
And
then
I
the
know
final
trouble.
project. So that's what but there was no
Oh
way
man.
mathematically I would fail the class if I didn't do those. So I
Yeah.
kind of had to just overcome my fear. And I kind of started to I really started to like it deep down inside. I didn't really talk
Yeah.
about that because drama wasn't the cool thing. I was like, nah, man, I'm a jock, man, so I'm like athlete, but drama was I kind of fell a little bit in love with it then. I just kind of
Hmm.
kept that in here though. So nobody knew about it.
Yeah. Right. Right. It's
So
funny though, you
then
talk about those memories because I'm someone who played the sports and did drama and probably loved drama even more than the sports, but I love
yeah.
sports too. So it was kind of like a joint love for all those. But my teammates used to always pick at me like, yo,
Yep.
look at this
Yep.
thespian. They used to call me Thesbo and all these funny names. I'm like, it's all right. I'm gonna make a lot more money than any of y'all one day. Watch. I can always that
Right.
but yeah, man, that's what I used to do. It going to football practice, basketball. When I was playing basketball, it wasn't really a bad thing. But my football teammates, man, them jokers used to always pick at me. Now they all want jobs. Now that's the funny part about it all, right? That's
It
what's
became the
funny
cool
about it.
thing. It
Right,
became the
right.
cool thing to do.
Right. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I know exactly, man, what you're going through. And then also, to share a story with you too. My dad, he was at Jones High School. He graduated from Jones, him and my
Okay.
mom both. And so he played sports a lot. Drama wasn't cool back when he was coming through, but guess who came through 2 years before him? Somebody by the name of Wesley Snipes came through
So he
Jones
really did
High
go to
School.
Jones.
Yes,
I
man.
hear the stories. I didn't know it was true though.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. So my parents were out there around that time. I know they were much younger, of course, 2 years behind him, but he had something to do with that program starting out at Jones, the drummer program at the time. And so, but yeah, my dad would tell you, man, back, I wish I would have stuck with it,
Right. Right.
but he
Right.
didn't. But he get to live through me now. I'm casting him and stuff. You know how it is. But no, man, that's great, man. As an athlete, it isn't cool always to to be doing drama and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's cool now, all right? It's cool now. So yeah,
Yeah.
so someone like yourself, man, with and this is one of the most amazing things that I admire about you is how you balance your life and your family, man. And I know how important family is to you, just as it is to me. How do you balance that lifestyle? Being a amazing father, not just a father, an amazing father from what I see, and an amazing husband from what I see. How do you balance that for anybody like myself who needs that help with that balance?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing, my wife, shout out to my wife Candace. She's amazing, man. Like I think she kind of helps with the calendar, so she'll
Yeah,
get certain things already on the calendar ahead of time. So now I know like if we got some family stuff going on, I let my agents know these are my blackout dates, so I'm not
that's
available, so don't even submit me for anything.
right, right,
So
right.
like that's how I kind of keep from getting into those scheduling conflicts because I'm like, man, listen, it's tough. If you get booked for something big, you already know, man, like
Yeah,
you can't. It's hard to turn that down. Listen,
right.
getting booked once you get to a certain level, getting booked is very difficult. The competition level gets a lot higher. You're going against people
Hmm.
who have bigger names now, bigger followings. So at the level I'm at now, man, it's like if I get something big, I got to do it.
Right, right.
So I'd rather just have those things on the calendar. So she kind of helps to keep that calendar planned ahead of time, and then I just kind of everything else kind of falls in line from there.
That's
But
amazing, man.
I think the biggest thing too is just, having that desire. Like I'm a family man, so I think
Hmm.
see like I got into this craft when I was like 30. So I was
Mhm.
already, in my career, I already had a family. Like I think it would be
Right.
different for me if I started when I was like 18 or 20.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
single dude, I think it would my experience and my outlook on how I approach the industry would be completely different. But I was already like living a
Mhm.
family life. So I mean, that was already my priority right there. And then I'm like the acting kind of has to fall in line with that.
Yeah, man, that definitely does make sense. And I could tell the big difference. Someone like myself who's having to fight for that creativity time. And I see my wife getting her creativity time on, and
Right.
she's fighting for it because she's mostly with the kids during the day, so I can work,
Right.
But yeah, that's the hard part. It's because usually when you get the time now to get creative, it's kind of like you're tired. You're fighting like, man, I'm tired. I'm wore out now from the kids, from work. So yeah, so it's crazy. Now, one thing I've been trying to work on, my brother, is the daily routines. I'm always talking about that now. Do you have a morning routine in place yet? That's what I'm really trying to just kind of gear my eyes and my focus on is that morning routine. How would you
So
describe your
mine,
morning routine?
yeah, man, I've actually recently I changed it. My mind
Uh-huh.
kind of changes depending on what I have going on in life.
Right, right.
So in this season of my life, I'm getting a lot more bigger auditions. So I'm like, I got to get back to being at the top of my game fitness wise. So I'm back doing instead of just going to the gym at 5 a.m., I actually go to this hit training class. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
45 minutes, man, but it's intense, man.
Uh-huh.
It's intense, man. The hit fitness gym, and that's what my guy Lorenzo Ferguson. Shout out him to class, man. It kicks my behind every time. But
Wow.
when you work out early, man, like you have so much energy throughout the day, to
Hmm.
where you can accomplish a lot more. Like if I sleep in, I notice I'm tired. Like when I get off work, I'm tired. But if I go to the gym, I got more energy through work. And then when I get off work, and then like, I'm burning calories as well all
Right,
throughout the
right.
day. So it's just something about having that blood flow going and your heart rate, it just keeps you up to where you can accomplish more. But that's what I do in the morning, man.
That's good.
I do that. I may look at a couple of scripts. I've had an audition, a couple of projects I have coming up. I look at my script every day. So
Hmm.
usually early morning is when my house is quiet. Everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my time. So I get up, say a little prayer or whatever, and then I kind of go study a script, whatever I can get done at that time, and then I go to the gym, come back, eat breakfast, hit my protein shake, and then
Hmm.
well, the kids just got out of school, but usually I would get
Right.
the kids to school and then
Hmm.
have a little bit of time to myself, do a little something, and then it's work. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my routine right now, man. I'm
Sweet,
doing
sweet.
the hit fitness.
What time would you say you're getting up in the morning right now when you're hitting the gym up and
Four
stuff?
o'clock,
4 o'clock.
4 a.m.
Woo! Man, I
Well, that's
heard
that's
this
the
one.
that's the
I heard
goal.
this one. That's
That's
the
the
goal.
goal. I have about 3 or 4 alarms set though,
Man,
so
hey, you the
usually
second
sometimes it's
one
four
telling me
thirty.
four. You the second
Yeah,
one telling me four, man. So I think God trying to tell me. He been trying to get me up at 5, man. It just be so hard, man. So because I like to have that prayer time with God, and I literally between prayers and reading the Word probably spend almost an hour solid, just having
that's
that
good stuff.
time. And it's a work in progress, my brother, as you know. And from there, of course, the kids are up already running around, so I gotta jump right into getting them ready. But yeah, man. So 4 o'clock, man. Woo! It's probably gonna have to switch to that soon. So
It takes a while to
that's
get the
early.
discipline, but once you got it down for about 21, 30 days, and then it becomes like I honestly I started waking up like on my own. Like I know the alarm is
Yeah.
set, but like I naturally wake up kind of like right before that alarm goes off. So it
Hmm.
gets easier. It gets easier.
And just knowing who you are, what time getting up at 4, what time you try to get to bed, at night, would you say?
Man, look here, man. I feel like an old man now, man. I go to bed early. Like,
That's
hey, like this
good.
right
To
here.
get up that
I'm
early,
I,
yeah.
I'm going to bed usually like I'm laying down around 9:30, and I'm
See,
usually
that's
asleep by 10. I
that's
got to
my
get at
problem.
least a good 6 hours of sleep. I got to get a good six
Yes.
hours, and then I'm good.
Oh man, that is my problem. I'm up trying to work on stuff, doing all this stuff late at night, be like 11, 12. So I gotta get to bed early. You just told me that. So that's what it is. If I can get to bed early, I can
Yeah,
work on getting up early. That's what it is,
that
brother.
sleep is important,
It's
man. It's
hard. It
critical.
it really is, especially when I hit the 40s. I was like, yo, I don't feel the same. I don't feel the same, bro. In the 40s, man, I'd be so tired.
Well,
So
you
yeah,
hit the
man.
4-0. You hit the 4-0.
Yeah, I'll be 42 this year. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
what's up. I got
Yeah,
6 more
man.
months in the 30. I got 6 more months in the 30
Oh, you
club.
get it, bro. Get ready. Get that body ready, bro. I'm telling you. I don't want to speak that on you. I know people be speaking on me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm good. But nah, man, it's real. The body just feels a different soreness, and you feel tired, man. I saw Monique hit it. She hit it last year. She hit the 40s, man. I saw no,
Oh
actually,
wow.
no, this year. She hit it this year. Yeah, I saw, man, a big difference. She started to feel it. I was like, I
I'll
told
be
you.
honest. I felt the difference at like 35, 36.
Woof,
I like
woof.
it's like different areas where you start to feel different.
Right,
35,
right.
36, I kind of started feeling like, man, my metabolism slowed down a lot. Like I can't eat
Yeah.
what I wanted to eat anymore. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really have to be strategic with what I'm eating. And I have to
Oh
be
yeah.
strategic with counting my macros and burning the right amount of calories too. And then I
Right.
get
Oh,
tired. I get tired easier.
yeah,
So
man.
I used to feel like a superhuman. You know what I used to do, man?
Oh
Like
yeah.
when I
Oh
first
yeah.
started my career, dude, I lived in the gym.
Right. I used to
Lived in
always
the
see
gym,
those
man.
videos. That was
Yeah.
motivation for me. Gotta get to work, flipping tires and everything, man. I'm
I
like,
was on
man,
I was I feel human now though. That's the
yeah,
difference. I felt like a superhuman back then, man, like a
right.
superhero. Real talk. Like I'm not just saying
Yeah.
that. Like I felt invincible, man.
Nice,
Now
man.
it's like I feel human. I feel like, okay, this is what average people feel like and go through. I
Yeah.
understand now.
Oh yeah, and I'm finding more and more. We have to. The older we get, we have to stay active. One, we got to
Hmm.
continue to watch what we put in our bodies, but we got to stay active. I notice when I'm not active, I'm so sluggish. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, getting up, we usually go for a walk in the mornings. I try to hit the gym at night when I feel the energy too. But yeah, man, we got. As you get older, you got to stay active. I know. I be feeling. I'm feeling it now because I ain't been active this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hang in there. I'm telling on myself, I'm telling. But yes, man. But we can talk about that all day, man. Next question for you. What is your biggest passion now? So we kind of know a lot about you now. You've told us, shared a lot. What would you say is your biggest passion right now in life?
So I'll be honest, man. Making that transition from sports to going into this craft, man. I'll be honest, man. This craft has like really changed my life, man. Like I love it, man. Like again, I'm not one of those dudes who do it just for like trying to get rich and famous and stuff like that, or for social media likes. Like I truly do love the craft. So like my passion now is just being one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
that's what it's legacy for me now. I'm like this is the opportunity that I kind of missed out with in sports because sports has an age expiration date on it, unfortunately. Once
Yeah.
you get older, you can no longer really do it. So with this, I'm like, man, you get better in time. The
Right.
more
Right.
life experiences you go through as you get older, more wisdom. It's like you can relate to more characters, you can play more characters, your range just gets bigger and bigger. So it's like
Hmm.
a career path that I feel like it just keeps evolving and opening doors.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's my passion now, man. Is not just to be an actor and say I did it because I'm almost a decade into this thing now, man, which
Quickly,
is a
right?
blessing in
Oh,
itself. It's a
yeah.
blessing in itself.
That
But I'm
is.
like, man, I really like where I started, where I'm at right now, and where I'm going. So
Hmm.
that's really my passion, man. It's just being one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, man. You're on your way, brother. You're on your way. You are there. I'm
Appreciate that,
telling you.
man.
I'm telling you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Have you ever dabbled in theater?
So I did during the pandemic. I actually did my first stage play. It was a big one too, man. It was
Okay. I'm like, do I remember
uh
seeing this?
I don't think you saw it because this was like way up in man, where was this place at? It's like North Orlando, kind of.
Okay. No, I'm trying to remember if I saw any promotion for it because I'm like, I was wondering if you had ever dabbled in theater.
Yeah, it was called She Hate Me or He Hates Me.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. No. It was called He Loves Me Not. He Loves Me
He
Not
loves me
by
not.
Doc He Loves Me Not. Dr. Calandria Smith.
Okay. I know that name.
Bruce was in it.
Yes.
Bruce
I
was
know.
in it.
Oh,
Bruce
you
was the
was in that?
lead.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
played
think
his
Bruce.
brother.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Bruce was telling me all about that play. I was like, I know that name, but yeah, he was telling me we were supposed to come check that out. I don't know what was going on in that season. But yeah, man, Bruce was telling me about that, man. That seemed like it was a great experience though for y'all over there.
It was, man. I highly encourage every actor like who wants to really be good in this craft, man. I feel like you have to do theater at some point, man. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
I encourage you to do it because again, it was for me. It put me. This is what did for me. Now I had done all these films at this point, right? I was good with doing
Yeah.
films.
Yeah. Oh
When I had
yeah.
to do that, I felt like that quiet, shy kid back in that drama class in 10th grade. That's what theater did. So I'm
It
like, you
is.
see the preparation. It helps you prepare better for your films because you get
Mm-hmm.
one shot. You get one shot in theater,
That's it.
but you also get instant gratification, man. Like while you're doing it, which you don't get that in film. You got to wait for the
Oh yeah.
post production. You know
Right.
everything. It's a lot. It's a lot of hurry. Now you get it done. Now you got to wait. So with
Yeah.
theater, it's like right there, man. You do all the preparation, all the rehearsals, and then it's like you get tired of doing rehearsals. But then it's like once you do that show and it's live, it's
Man.
like, man, this is man. Listen, it's
It's
nothing like
it's
being on that stage, man.
it's nothing like it, brother. And I still get nervous as long as I've been doing theater.
Yeah,
I still get butterflies, but once I set foot on that stage and say that first
once you
line,
get there,
it's out there,
that
man. It's like
that
an
gas
adrenaline
is
rush,
going.
bro.
Yeah,
So yes, I've been
yeah.
itching to bring back some shows, so that's why I was asking too. Because I have, man, to get back on stage, that's a whole different life, brother. It's a
It's a
whole
different
different
monster.
preparation. So yeah,
That's a
man. So
different monster,
I've
man.
been considering.
I would love to do more theater, man. Like I said, once I get a little bit more time on my hand, because it does take a lot more time.
It takes a
But
lot more. Yeah.
but to me, I feel like I study the greats, man. Like Denzel's, your Robert
Oh
De
yeah.
Niro's, your Al Pacino's, and when they're not doing films, that's how they train. They're doing
Right.
stage
Right.
plays. So I'm like,
That's true.
well, that's what the greats are doing, and I want to be
Yes,
great.
man. Got to
That's
do
the
it.
blueprint. That's the
Oh yeah,
blueprint.
man. It's nothing like
Yeah.
that, man. That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. What would you say would be your biggest pet peeve?
Just in general, or you mean like in the industry?
Yeah, you can make it industry related, or if it's kind of combined. So yeah.
Biggest pet peeve, man. I have so many of them. I'll be honest, man. I have so many of them. So I'll just say,
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
I'll just say people who try to use you, people who try to
Yeah.
use you or your platform for their own personal gain.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's truly a collaboration, that's one thing. But like when you reach a certain level, and I know you go through it, man, because you've accomplished so much. Like people kind of try to use you, man. And
Hmm.
and then like it's like everybody thinks that you're rich, man, when you're an actor, but
Right.
they don't understand. Like, listen,
Right. Right.
I'm successful in the independent market, but I haven't hit
Right.
like the blockbusters and everything. So
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
so that those are the biggest things, man. Like I feel like people always constantly want something from you, man. And it's like,
Ah,
listen, man, the way my heart is, I would love to help everybody,
right.
but like I right now I'm in this stage of life. I'm just building my own house,
Hmm.
like getting, setting up everything for my immediate family. But
Right.
I want to help everybody, but sometimes you just can't. And
Right. Right.
I'm a very nice person. I try to be an asset, and just kind of have my heart in the right place at all times. But like I said, like people who try to like use you or take advantage of you, I'm like, man, it's just no room for that, man.
Yeah, never. It's never room for that, man. And especially as a family man, you got to provide. So that's the
Right.
biggest thing. So, but people don't understand that, man. What would you say was the biggest challenge in life for you, up to this point?
Ah, man. I would say for me, I guess I'll take it a little bit deeper to more like adult stuff, man. Just becoming financially stable and being like
Oh,
responsible. Just
mm-hmm.
being responsible and budgeting, just getting things right there. That's something that I kind of struggle with for years.
Yeah.
Um, especially when I started making good money, man. It's almost like,
Mhm.
it's not about how much you make, it's how much you spend.
Right, right,
So
right.
yeah, man, I learned that lesson. So I'm like, that's the biggest thing. Like, and that's something that I'm still working on mastering now. It's just like,
Hmm.
mastering the finances, man. So
Right.
that I say that's probably the biggest challenge. Like
I agree.
once I became an adult, man, life got difficult. Like my
Oh
parents,
yeah.
they did such a great job in my upbringing. Like we didn't really want for anything, me and
Hmm.
my brother. But then when I got to adulthood, man, that's when all my struggles began. When I
Yeah,
went to college, had to go on my own. That's when all my struggles came, and I'm like, I really
man.
learned. I had to like, just like I said, I just made a lot of mistakes. A lot of
Yeah.
self-inflicted wounds. But I hold accountability to myself. I don't make excuses. I don't blame
Right,
other
right.
people. Like it's just stuff I could have done different. So that's
Yeah.
something that I'm looking to master now. It's just
That's good.
finances and yeah,
I think we all trying to master that, man. That's one thing I'm trying to master and balance too. So that's a work in progress in my life. Who would you say would be the one person that influenced you the most in life?
so I would say Tupac is like my idol.
Okay.
Tupac,
Okay.
Tupac is my idol, man. Like, and that not just through music, but just what he was able to do with acting and
Yeah.
just kind of his life was like a glass house. So we seen all the
Right.
struggles he was going through. We seen like the crazy extreme beginnings that he had
Oh yeah.
coming in, and to see how much he accomplished at the tender age of 25. I'm
Hmm.
like, man, I've been thinking about that because I'm like, man, what was I doing at the age of 25? Like, I listen, if someone would have had me at the age of 25, nobody would know anything about my story. You
Right.
see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I didn't take
Oh
life
yeah.
seriously like that. I didn't have that
Hmm.
grind like that. So I
Right.
mean, I think
Wow.
he's always been somebody work ethic wise. I'm like, man, there's no, and then like just his impact that he had on the world,
Oh
and
yeah.
like how people still bop his music, and people just see him as this real dude because he was
Hmm.
able to express himself, and you could tell it was coming from a real place.
Right. Right.
So I look at that, and like, he's kind of one of the ones that made me want to get into acting as well.
Okay.
When I seen Poetic Justice, man, and I seen him with
Oh,
Janet Jackson, I
right.
said, man, bruh,
Just killing it. Killing
this
it.
dude from the ghetto, man, and he doing a movie with
Right.
Janet Jackson, and he killing the
Right.
role too. He's killing it. I'm
Killing it.
like,
Killing it.
dang,
Nothing like that, man. Yeah,
yeah,
from that, and then you had Juice, man. I mean, that was just epic Juice, just seeing him play that role. But yeah, man, definitely a legend in my book as well. And man, before his time, as I always would say, he was before his time. That's for
absolutely.
sure. So to piggyback on that, what would you say are your top three movies of all time?
Oh man, wow, wow.
Oh
You
yeah,
gonna
I'm
do that
loaded
one
with
to me,
questions.
man?
I'm
You gonna do
loaded.
that
I'm
one to
loaded.
me?
Every time I
All
ask this
right,
question, I was like, I got to get my answers down in case I get asked this.
all right. So, all right, I'm gonna go different genres because like I don't have them in any specific order.
That's
Uh,
cool.
so
That's
I'm gonna
cool.
so
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna go top three, top three, top three. Man. All right, let's go with Training Day.
Okay. Okay.
Training
I
Day,
love it.
one of my I really love the movie dang man, should I say this one? All right, so I'm gonna go with the movie Troy,
Troy. Okay. Wait. Is it
Brad
because you're
Pitt.
Troy? I'll just
Hey, little
a
something,
movie
something
named
there,
after
but
you, right? That was a good one
I
though.
I love that one.
Hector.
He's like, get on out
Hector.
there, Hector.
Right. That was serious, boy. Man, that movie, boy. I was like, okay. Hey, Brad wasn't playing, man. He was ready.
He told that little boy, he was like, that's why no one will remember your name.
Right.
Remember the little boy came
Wow.
to get him? He woke
Yeah.
up, he was like, you aren't you scared? This dude, he's big. He was like, that's why no one will ever remember your name. I'm like, man, that was just legendary stuff.
Wow. Legend. Yeah, just talking.
He just
Just
walked out
crazy.
there, just jumped in, put the thing in the
Oh
dude's
my
collarbone.
goodness.
That was it. Is there no
Dang.
one else? Is there no
Right.
one else?
Right.
All
Right.
right,
Right.
and then here's my
Oh
third one,
man.
man. Now you may laugh at this because, and all my friends who are going to be watching this, they will tell
Uh-oh.
you, man. In college, this was the only movie I used to watch and study. Boogie Nights, man.
Boogie Nights. Wow.
Boogie Nights. I'm weird like that, man.
Oh
And
man.
it's not because of why you think. It's because
Yeah.
of it was so. If you can look past what the movie's about,
Yeah.
there was so many life lessons in that movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
the dude literally came from nothing. Like his mom called him an idiot. Said he'll
Mm.
never be nothing. Just called him stupid. This
Yeah.
man goes out and then he plays a he play then he has a success. Then he gets his acting career where he has his own
Mm.
series, and then he was
Yeah.
playing a bad actor. I'm like, and then you saw like the rise. You saw the rise where it's like he achieved all this success. Then you saw the fall where he lost everything. So it showed you like
It's showing
if you
all
start
this
hanging
stuff.
around the wrong people, doing the wrong things, just as fast as you got it, you can. And then he had that humbling experience where it was like, then he had to come back to the dude, what I'm saying,
Mm.
Jack.
Right.
So I just like it, man. Like even when he had like the Bruce Lee posters, he had his dreams up on the wall, from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and then he started getting
Oh,
those things. So you saw him get it, and then he started wearing
yeah.
the Italian nylon, like the style, the fashions. I was like, man, listen, that movie was everything to me, man. It had everything.
Yes, had it all. The story, man. There you go. But nah,
He
man,
did.
that's cool. That's what an interesting selection of movies, my brother.
I
I
told you I'm
will
weird,
say.
man. I'm weird like that, man. I'm weird, but I'm a movie
I
buff
see.
though.
Yeah, I see all the different genres there. That's good, man. All right, we're gonna
Yeah,
switch it up now. You ready?
yeah.
What you
Let's
think the
go.
next question about to be? What you think it's gonna be?
Um,
Don't get
hmm,
nervous. You
what's your
ready?
favorite food? Your favorite
No,
food?
I ain't gonna talk about no food, man. We ain't talking about food right now. No. All right, man. Look at you did you eat yet, bro? You must be hungry, man.
Wifey got some baked ziti in the oven. She got some baked
Uh-oh,
ziti
look
in the
at you,
oven.
look at you, look at you. Look at now me being on my health journey now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all eating late now over there now.
See, I can't even eat it. I can't even eat it. You
You can't
teasing me,
eat.
man.
I
Yeah, it's
know,
too late.
man. It's too late now. But no, I can imagine smelling up the house though, smelling good. All right. So my next question would be, what are your top three TV shows of
TV
all
shows.
time?
Okay. All time. All right. Um, so, all right, so I'm gonna take it back. I'll go back for one of these, right? So I would say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think that show was just
Okay. Yep.
classic,
Yep.
man. Like I
Oh
still
yeah.
watch it on TV now. And then I'm gonna go more modern with these other ones. So I'm gonna go recently, Snowfall.
Nice. Yes.
Snowfall.
Oh man, that was
Oh my
life
God,
changing.
man.
That is
My
definitely
God.
top. Definitely
My
top.
God, man. Like, dude, like that show, the acting in there, the story, John Singleton, man,
Everything.
and the rest in peace, John Singleton. He's one of the directors
Yes.
I really wanted to work with, man. That's why,
Yeah.
like I had a dream to work with him, man, because
Oh
he was the one
man.
who did all like Tupac's movies, like the Poetic
Yeah.
Justice and everything. I was like, man, I wanted
Crazy,
Boys in the
right?
Hood. I'm like, dang it. So, but Snowfall, and then I'm gonna go a little bit recent again, and I'll say Ozark, the
Ozark.
Ozarks.
Okay. Yes, man. That yeah. Those are some of my top ones too. And I like a good one like that. Some like Snowfall and Ozark, I was just lost in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
whoa. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Fresh Prince it's in a lane by itself, you know. That's that
right,
Fresh Prince was, you know. We all grew up watching that in our generation. So but yeah,
right.
man, some great TV series there. That's really good. So you was ready for that one. You was ready for
I was
that one.
ready
So
because those are more recent. Those are more
yeah,
recent, man.
those are more
The
recent.
movies, the movies are harder. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's other shows I could have said, but like those are the ones that like I would probably say I watched the most and the fastest.
Yeah.
You know, and then watch
Yeah.
them over again and learn the most from them as well, as far as
Oh
acting.
yeah. Yeah, I got into which I'm bringing this up now because I just finished season two, but I don't know if you know the show Them on Amazon Prime. Have you
Yeah,
checked
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you
I
remember?
finished. I finished that. Well, so I didn't even know they had a season one. I just watched the season two.
Oh yeah, season
I never
one,
saw
bro, is
season
classic.
one.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
see season one because I just finished this today. I started this week because I was a little tiptoeing on the horror now. I was like, I don't be trying to do too much horror now. But this was like, I was like, I really love season one. So I was like, let me just go on and check it out. And I did this week, and man, I wrapped it up today. But they tied into season one. They have a little piece in there. So that's why I'm like,
Okay.
you gotta check that out. It was on some other stuff too, man. Just different. Just a different type of writing. I
I
love it, man.
anticipate I anticipate quite a few awards coming out of that show though.
Man, they
Like,
played, man, everything about it,
yeah,
man. That
everybody
was, was
killed it, especially the main dude. I was like, man, I had like
yes.
nightmares 2 nights watching that junk. I'm like, I didn't want to go to sleep, man. I'm like, dude's face looking like,
Right. That's why I
I'm
was
like,
like,
bro, that junk
yeah.
scares me.
I try to stay away from the horror stuff like that, crazy, way left stuff. But with something like this, was kind of like I saw season one, so I was kind of like, dang, I know they're saying it's more horror now. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a big horror fanatic, but you know what I'm saying? I'm in this mindset, which I just released an episode today, actually, called Dead Works. So I'm in this
Okay.
mindset, like I'm not trying to produce dead works, I'm trying to stay away from dead works. And so, but certain things it's kind of like, man, let me see how the writing is. And the writing is amazing, in
It
that show.
was. It
The acting
was.
is amazing. So you're learning so much. Yeah, it's on the dark side a little bit, but what brings it all together is the way that story comes together. Why is he doing this? And that's what sold it for me. Once I get into the story, you got me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone.
Once you seen why he
So
did it too, it's like you understood.
yeah,
It's like,
you
man, you kind of
understood him.
felt
Yeah,
bad for it. You kind of felt
right,
bad for him. And it's like, God,
right,
dog, because it's like this happens in real life, and then you see these
right.
people that turn out the world think they're crazy, but it's a reason they got to that
So
point. And
exactly,
you
exactly.
know, but
So
I'll be honest, man, horror, I don't really do horror too much. Like horror movies, they just don't, and horror shows, they don't scare me. That's the thing. They're not,
yeah,
but whenever I see something, I don't know what it is. When I see horror with black people, it scares me.
it's
It's
different.
a
It's
little bit closer
us.
to home, man.
Yes,
Like I'm
it's
like, bro,
us.
like this could just be like, one of my homeboys who I see, I'm like, man, it's closer to
Right.
home. I'm like,
It's
that
real
junk scared
close.
the heck out of me. Like
Yeah.
Candyman did that. Candyman was the last
Oh
thing that
yeah.
scared me like that.
Candyman, man, Candyman was yeah. And then you're talking about the newer or the older one now?
The
And
old one, the old
yeah,
one,
the old original one.
the
Yeah,
original one.
man.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, the new one was, I actually saw the new one too, man. I love the
How
story that
was
they
it?
did around that. It was good. It was good. They have a nice, the thing is, they have a nice story. And then, of course, you're seeing people that look like us, in these roles. And so it's kind of like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And just the way they get so creative with the storytelling and the acting and the performance. Man, it's nice. It's worth to check out if you like the original. Don't be scared now. I know the original one. I don't think it's probably as scary as the original one because we were kids when the original ones came out. You know what I'm
Well, they
saying?
used a
So
new guy, right? They used that younger guy,
yeah,
right? It was a new
yeah.
dude. Yeah. So I'm like,
Oh
nah,
yeah.
it's the dude. It's the original dude who
The
played him. That scared me.
original.
His voice, and everything.
Yeah.
And then like
Oh
you see the
man.
bees, everything with the bees. I'm like, dude. And then when he
If I
go to hook him, man, he be juking. He be
oh
like,
he
choop,
good.
choop,
Oh man.
aggressive, man.
I think he had a cameo in the newer one, if I'm not mistaken, too. So yeah, I think they gave him a
I would hope
cameo.
so. I would hope so. You
Yeah,
got to
because
have him in there.
that's legend there, man. That's legend. So yeah, man. Wow. Look at this, man. It's great. Great conversation. What do you wish? What do you wish you would have known before starting your acting career?
Hmm. See that's a deep one because when I started my career, like I said, just coming from where I came from, I didn't have anybody I could look to for
Hmm.
like advice or anything. I just kind of dove in here first. So hmm, I guess what I wish I knew is when I first started, I was just jumping on anything I could get on, just out of
Right.
sheer excitement. I wish I would have known how some of the things you get on could really hurt your career later on.
Mm,
So that's one of the things I didn't know. I thought it was all about quantity. I wasn't even looking at stuff
yeah.
like quality or stuff like that. So it's just like, hey, whatever I can get on to learn, because I'm like, you got to get your feet wet at some point.
Hmm.
But that's one thing I would have been a little bit more selective in the beginning as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No, that's important. You're right about that. How did you get us? How did you get your first opportunity? Tell us about that experience.
So my first opportunity, I'm trying to think, what was my first project?
No, it's been a while,
Oh,
right?
so yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's like three or four that I kind of booked around the same time. Like
Okay.
when I hadn't booked anything at all, and then those things they all just hit at once. So I'm trying to think which one I did first.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like it was Wages, the webisode
Okay.
that we did. That was with Donnie Crawford, Leslie Gray,
Nice.
all of them, and we did like a series. It was like a mini series. The episode was like
Yeah.
5 to 7 minutes long.
Hmm.
Um, so that one I actually auditioned, man. They were holding auditions over there in Antioch Church in
Okay.
Oviedo, and yeah, I just went there like an audition. I had just so this I'm telling you, man, this is when I was like on it, man. Like, dude,
Hmm.
like the desire to book something. I had just came back from Jacksonville because it was a feature film they were auditioning for in Jacksonville. Drove
Wow.
up there, knocked out my audition, came back down, did the audition with them, and then like I
Nice.
feel like it was the next day or something. Like they were like, "Hey, you got the lead role." I'm
Wow.
like,
Wow.
I was excited but scared at the same time. I'm like, "Oh shoot, what have
Yeah.
I done?"
Right. Right. You're grinding.
Yeah, so I would say it was that, man, and I learned a lot. Worked with some really cool people.
Hmm.
Um, I learned a lot about myself, man. I think that's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people don't know about acting, man. You learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
That
Oh
you
yeah.
that you that some things you thought you may have known but you didn't, and then you play certain characters and then you relate. You're like, man, I can really relate to this. I'm like, I didn't know that about myself.
Hmm.
So
Oh
you
yeah.
learn a lot more about yourself. So I would say that was probably the first one was that, and then the other one, I think it was Deserving Mercy with
Hmm.
Ledrick Cooper. I remember I sent in my headshot on that through our green room. Remember green room?
Oh yeah. I remember Green Room.
Oh, I'm bringing it
Yeah.
back with that one,
You
man. I'm
bringing it
bringing it
back?
back.
Yes, man.
Well, he
Green
he
Room
literally
days.
booked me off my look. He booked me off my look, man. And
Okay.
then it was crazy. It was crazy because I had never met him, but he had seen my picture. And then like I go to my barber shop one day to get a haircut. Dude, he's sitting in my barber seat getting his haircut, and I'm like, this
Whoa.
dude looks familiar. He's like, hey man, what's up? And then I'm talking to my barber about the role I'm about to do. He was like, wait, you Troy Willie? Like, yeah, you doing my film. So then we met in person, like at the barber shop. It was crazy, man.
Wow. Wow. Hey, what
Yeah,
a special coincidence, right? As we say,
yeah,
right? Oh man,
yeah.
that's amazing. What would you say? How did you get your what was your first, I guess, major production that you've done, that you're like, man, this is it. I'm rolling. I'm starting to, get into these characters more. This is my biggest role. What would you say that film was?
Oh, that one will always be out of Watchman's Edict, man. With
Oh
with
yeah.
Brian
Mm.
Boykins. I played the
Wow.
investigative reporter, Raymond Jarvis,
Mm-hmm.
because that was about 6 months in to actually starting my career.
Yeah.
That was 6 months in. I had only done short films at that time, short films, and then like I said, the short webisodes. So these are all, small episodes, like 5, 7 minutes. So it wasn't a lot of filming.
Yeah.
When I got that script, man, Ron, it was like 70, 80 pages. And
Nice.
I
Oh
had
yeah.
lines on like 90% of the script. And
Whew.
I said, man, so let me tell you, at this time, right? At this time, this was going on in my life. I have Troy and Tyson, my two sons, right? They're young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we find out, as I book the role and get ready for it, we find out that we have baby girl on the way,
Wow.
right?
Wow. Look,
So I'm
blessings.
dealing with a pregnant wife. I'm dealing with a
Yeah.
pregnant wife who was super pregnant. She was super pregnant, man. She was having
Oh,
the pregnancy sickness and stuff like that. It was
right.
crazy, man. So I'm like, man, I was like, I had to pray. I said, Lord, I feel like, I know you'll never give me more than I can, more than I can bear and handle. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this seems like a bit much. I'm like, I don't want to butcher my opportunity and ruin this film. Cause I'm like, I'm barely able to go over my lines, man. I'm having to tend to wifey. Life is
Yeah.
chaotic right now. But he
Mm-hmm.
just called me, and then Brian, man, I love that dude like a brother, because he was like, listen, man, you're my guy. He was like, you are him.
Mm.
And he just kind of from that moment
Wow.
on, he just kind of instilled that confidence in me. And it helped because I was the actor on the set with the least amount of experience.
Mm.
Everybody else, they had been
Gotcha.
acting for years. And the way
Yeah.
they just kind of embraced me, man, it was love, man. They were just like,
Mm.
so I'm learning from them as well. But they were just like, it was a good experience, man. A really good experience. We had a lot of success with that film.
That's awesome, man. I didn't never get a chance to check out this film too. Is it a way that we can check it out? Me and my viewers, listeners. Is it a way we can still
Absolutely.
check out?
Absolutely. So you can actually check that one out on Tubi now. That was on
Okay.
Tubi. It's on multiple platforms, but they changed the name and they changed the title. So when we got a
Gotcha.
distribution deal, they changed. It's now called Doomsday Clock.
Okay.
and
Okay.
and it's crazy because they now have me on the poster. They just have me on the poster holding two guns. I'm holding two guns.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So it's crazy, but I will tell everybody I don't shoot anybody. I never hold a gun in the movie, but the poster is cool,
Yes,
But that's what
man.
it's called now, Doomsday Clock, and
Oh,
It's on Tubi. You can watch it for free on Tubi,
on
some
Tubi.
other
Okay.
platforms. But yeah, Doomsday
Gotcha.
Clock. Yeah.
Nice, man. That's great. That's great to hear. Now, while we're talking about some of the films you've done, I did mention this. I had to hit you up about it. The book of false prophet. Pastor
Ooh wee.
Jack. Excuse me, Pastor Jack. And man, what an experience that was, man. It was great. Tell us a little bit about this film, man, and where we could check it out now.
Yes, man. So I first have to, give a shout out to Miss Betty Humphrey Breeden. She's the
Yes.
one who wrote the script. She co-directed it as well as produced it. Helped us get the distribution and everything. She did. Funny thing about this, and I have to tell the story on this because it's important on why the film is so important and why I took on the role. She did this the book False Prophet as a stage play
Mm,
for like 20 years. She did it for 20 years.
wow.
So like she wrote this story 20 years ago. She did it for stage as a stage play 20 years. And they were selling out shows and everything, every city
Mm,
she went in. Then she
wow.
decided that she wanted to get into filmmaking and she wanted to turn that into a film. So that was kind of the history behind it. So
Mm,
when she told me, and I'm just like you, when you know somebody, like you said, like when you watching something like a series, once you know the story, you're tuned into it more. See, I'm like
hmm.
that when somebody writes a script. When someone writes a script and I'm looking for a role I'm looking to be a part of a film, I care a lot about the story behind it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what pulls me in because I'm like, now I'm connected. I'm connected
Right.
here,
Oh, yeah.
so it's not just something I'm excited about. It's a real connection. So yeah, that one is actually available now on it's on 6 platforms now. I know it's on Folsom. Folsom is just awesome with put the F in front of it. It's on
Hmm.
Cluster TV, that's with a K. Cluster TV, it's KNG TV. It's on I don't know if it's still on Amazon Prime,
Yeah,
but
that's
we're
why I
working on
saw it.
getting it on Tubi as well.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it on Amazon Prime, so I supported it on that end. But yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah, you can rent it on Amazon Prime, and I think it was really low, like 2 something, you know. So it's really
Right.
worth like, hey, you could do that, you know. So but no, man, it was great. It was great. I'm glad I got to check that out. I've been wanting to check it out for a while. So that was my homework before this interview to
Ah,
check out that film. Now I got to check out Brian film because you know I've been hearing so much about him. So so I got to
yeah.
definitely check that one out. But no, man, that's great, man. That was a great experience. And I saw you did get co-producer credit on there as well.
Yeah, so that kind of came on the back end, just kind of pushing the
Yeah.
film and getting out there,
Oh yeah.
getting into film festivals. Man, we won like eight, nine, we won 9 awards on that film, man.
Wow.
Like just in various film
That's awesome,
festivals.
man.
One was even in Italy.
Hmm.
I took home 2 Best Actors for that one. Had
Okay,
a couple of the
sweet. Good.
nominations. So that film, it just really resurged my career, and it was special to me because it was challenging. I never
Right.
I don't really do the faith-based genre as much.
Hmm.
And the only reason why I have no issues with it, it's just a lot of the films I've auditioned for or actually were part of, they came out very cheesy. Like
Yeah.
they kind of told the line, so they don't want to go there.
Right,
Whereas
right.
this story, like we went there, man. Like we
Yeah.
like, hey, listen, we putting it all out there. This is what happens in some of these churches.
Yeah.
But it's a story of like, just finding out again the rise, the fall, and then just the understanding and then just the just being humble,
Right,
and
right.
just kind of having to come back from that and understanding why you got what you got and not losing
Hmm.
sight of that, not losing sight of the vision. So I think it's a great story that people will very get a lot out of. I think it's something in there for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, I think the biggest thing, I think it helps everyone self-reflect. That's a film that helps you
Yeah.
self-reflect and just
Oh
kind of
yeah.
see what's going on in your life. Like,
Right.
are you keeping it real with yourself? You know, so that it was powerful, man. And we that film almost got shelved. It almost got
Mm.
shelved, Rob, because I got
Wow.
cast for that like 2019, right before the
Hmm.
pandemic started. Pandemic came, everything was shut down. We
Mm.
didn't know we were gonna do it, so we didn't do that until like a year. We I got originally cast in 2019. We didn't film it until 2021.
Hmm.
So, a lot of times you know how it goes, man. If you start a project, you get ready to start, and then
Yeah.
it goes on the back burner for that long, everyone just gets busy with life. And
Right,
then you
right.
don't,
Oh yeah.
it's hard to
Oh
get
yeah.
that group together again. So
Yes.
I didn't think it was
You're
gonna
right.
happen, honestly. I didn't think it was
Wow.
gonna happen. Came back around, the Lord just said, hey, story needs to be told.
It's this time.
And I had to do it, man.
Definitely, man. Now, definitely a great story. And just like you said, it made me reflect over my own life, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing, you know. So but yeah, man, job well done to you and that awesome crew and all the awesome actors in that. I gotta say, Deacon probably was the one who just had me cracking up the whole time, man. He was just rolling, rolling. And the young lady who was coming at you in the church, the bookkeeper, I forgot what her name was, but she had me like
Sister Ruler.
Sister Ruler, the one who was coming at you about the finances. Yeah, man. I was like, I could feel the hair going up on my boy. She was zooming in on you. I was like, woo, she is playing that role.
She was
So
pressing me,
yes,
man. She
man.
was pressing me.
Yes. Oh, I felt
So
it, bro. I felt the
so
heat.
what's funny? That's actually Miss Betty Humphrey Breeden.
See,
She's the
that's
one
what
who
I
wrote it
was
as
wondering.
well.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, that looks like it could be her, but I wasn't sure. I even went to IMDb to check, but yes, that's what I was wondering. I was like, she just looked like this is just, you know, like she know more about the story than a lot of other people. You know, that's the way I felt. So I was wondering that. So thank you for clearing that up.
She was pressing me, man. You know what's funny with that particular scene right there, where she was pressing me on that. I
Hmm.
remember that was a scene that she kind of added later on. She kind of added it later on,
Oh,
so it was one of those bonus scenes that kind of added it. We just see if it worked, and it fit, But I kept telling her, I'm like, listen, you better bring your A game. 'Cause I'm telling you, I'm gonna shut you down
yeah.
on this scene. I kept telling her, I'm like,
Said
listen, man, I'm about to shut you
it.
down on this scene. I
Right.
like to have fun on set. I
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
to
yeah.
help people bring their A game. She was already gonna bring it, but I'm telling you, she
Yeah.
went home and she redid how she was gonna do it, and she
Oh
came in there with that energy. I'm like, man, I didn't think she
yeah.
was gonna do it like that. So I'm like,
Yeah, man.
in the scene, you living in the moment. It's like, man, she's like
Yeah.
really pressing me right now. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I gotta call out, man. She killed that. She had me nervous. I'm like, oh shoot, because it's kind of like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your mom or your auntie or your grandma, just like, I know you did it. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Right,
man, I felt the heat in that scene. So yeah, she did. She
right.
did a thing. So great job to y'all. See, I'm calling out themes, you know. Hey, that was a
Absolutely.
great story though. Great story, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again for watching it, man. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. I still got more homework to do. I know. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. So when working with other, because so you don't worked on, a lot of productions here. What are some key elements? And this is more so for those, maybe it's like some of my students, that are listening, that they're, dying to work on more like feature films and short films with actors like yourself. What are some key features that you think every filmmaker should have when working with actors like yourself?
So you mean as far as is them being actors, or you mean them being like behind the camera? Like what do you,
I kind of like both. Let's talk about behind the camera first, and then if you want to throw some for the acting side, that's cool too. But yeah,
yeah, I would say behind the camera, man, I would say just I would say just be positive, bring positive energy on
yeah,
set. I think that's the biggest thing because listen, man, sometimes we're on set, 12, 14, 16-hour days.
right,
It gets sometimes it can get redundant. Everybody has life going on outside of that. So I would
hmm,
say, man, just keep coming in with positive energy because it helps the time go by faster. It gives a better experience. Also, if you're doing something, just book up the whole day. Book out the
yeah,
whole day.
oh yeah, oh
Don't put anything
yeah,
else on your schedule later that day because I'm telling you, it always works out where you're never out in time, and then it becomes a scheduling conflict, and then you don't want to do that on set. So if
right,
you're, especially if you're behind the camera, typically crew people have to be there before the talent and after the talent. So if you're crew, it's a whole day. Just book out the whole day. So that those
yeah,
are things I would say. If you're looking more like at the directors and stuff like that, I would say, man, just create this safe space and this creative space where your talent can create. You know,
hmm,
uh, don't don't hold them into a box. Like I've worked with so many different directors, man. I'm telling you, some of them they
hmm,
kind of hold you right here. They don't want you to do anything. They don't want you. Nope, I just want you to do it just like this. I'm like, listen, sometimes it works, but I'm like, some of these dudes, I'm like, you're not a Hollywood director yet.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what? Once you're Hollywood, you won some awards, you can do that. But I'm like, at this level
hmm,
here, it's like, let's see, like, can you just not, can we do it this way and then shoot it this way so you have both?
yeah,
Because and it's not trying to step on toes. It's just as actors, man, we put a lot into this. So
hmm,
it's like we want to be creative and not feel like the performance is being held back.
yeah, oh
Sometimes you
yeah,
just have impulses in certain scenes. So I would say that just create this safe space for your actors to feel comfortable and creative. That's what I would say there. From a talent
definitely.
side, actors, when you come to set, know your lines.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, like, listen, if you really want to do this and you're serious about this, listen, it's not just for social media. Like some of us, we do this. This is our lives. We take this very seriously. So
Oh,
hey, listen, every now and then you're going to stumble over lines, but you really need to know your lines and you need to know your story that you're telling. So when you come on set, man, just be ready to work. And I would say don't come on set anticipating how someone's going to react to what you're saying.
hmm,
That it hurts your performance. It hurts
yeah,
your performance when you do that. So what I do is I kind of know what story I'm telling. I know what story I'm telling. I know what my tone is. I know my moment before. I know all those things as I'm coming in. I know what choices, but how I get there, that's the puzzle. And that's all contingent on my scene partner. So you have to use active listening. Really be in tune with your scene partners.
hmm,
Don't anticipate what they're saying, even if you know the lines, what they're saying. Obviously, you've gone over this, so live in the moment because in that moment you don't know what they're about to say. And if
right,
they
right.
mess up on their line, now if you're already anticipating that they're going to say the line right, and now this is my response, it hurts the performance, man. So listen to your scene partners. That's the biggest thing I can say, man. Just to active listen. That's what's
That's
helped me
good.
more than anything.
Oh yeah,
Really being present in the moment, man. So I don't know where a scene is going to go. I know
right,
what my
right.
mission is and how I'm trying to get there. But now I got to figure out based on what this person is doing how I'm going to get there. But I'm still going to get there one way or another.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and like you say, theater definitely will work on that active listening because
Absolutely. Oh man,
that's
you
a
got
whole
no room
different
for
world.
error.
Yeah,
No room for
you
error
got
there, man.
don't mess up, man. And
If you
I
get
feel
lost up there,
bad.
you could mess up the whole play.
I think one of my guests was telling me, I guess now, they have the mobile devices and stuff. We didn't have that back when I was doing theater. So now you have all these extra distractions. And so can
Yep.
you imagine missing your cue because of the phone? Woo!
It's over, man. You can mess up the whole
That's
play. The whole play could be messed
yes,
up, like
man.
off of that
Oh
one
man.
thing.
Oh
But
man. So yeah, that's scary, man, with that phone. So yeah,
yeah.
man. So my
But
brother,
the last
what
thing I'll
project?
say,
Oh,
wait, real
sorry.
quick. Last thing I'll say with that, be coachable. Be coachable.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
leave your pride and ego at home. Whether your talent, crew,
Right.
leave your pride and ego at home, man. I've seen that I've seen people self-sabotage themselves with that, man.
Yes,
We're all
man.
here to do a job. We're all here to work together. Nobody's better than anybody. I don't care how
Right.
big your role is, how small your role is. We all play a pivotal part in making this ultimate story come together. So
Oh
leave
yeah.
that pride and ego at home, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. No, I love that idea. And there's some really great elements that you shared with us, man. Thank you so much for that. And one thing I do love too, when you're talking about the acting side, it's kind of like we pay the actors when we are able to pay our actors, right? We pay our actors to act, you know what I'm saying? So we got to let you all do your job as well as we do our job, on our end. And we just kind of work together to bring that scene out the best. So, but no, I think that was a really great element you shared. What projects are you working on now that you can tell us about, my brother?
Oh yes. So man, listen, it's always a blessing because like I said, sometimes you can go on a lot of auditions before you book something. And
Hmm.
we're going through the pandemic, then going through the strike. Listen, man, I had some uncertainty on whether what I was going to do
Right.
with this craft in this industry. I didn't
Oh yeah.
know. You started to kind of rethink some things. So I booked Blended, which is a new series
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that's going to be coming out. We filmed the pilot. The pilot is done, so now it's just in post production. That's
Okay.
Renelle Golden. I have been wanting to
Okay.
work with her for
I know
years.
that.
I
Yeah.
have been wanting to work with her for years, but we're just waiting on the right project, to
That's
come around.
awesome. Yes.
So Blended, man, this series is special, man.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's special. Like when I say she's such a gifted writer,
Yes,
and
yes.
and uh and then she directed as well. And when I say giving actors that creative space,
Right.
like she did that. But again, you can tell that Renelle, if she wanted to be an actor, she could do that too, because
Mm.
she understands elements of storytelling.
Hmm.
And so when she's giving us coaching and stuff on certain scenes and everything, it's like her emotion is there, almost as
Mm.
she's doing the scene. So
Wow,
I'm like,
wow.
man, it was great. It was a great experience. But this story, man, it's a dark, it's like a dark drama.
Mm.
It's a dark
Okay.
drama where unconditional love is kind of the biggest. It's kind of like the outcome of everything. But it's a dark drama where people are going through some very serious life changing things.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I love it because dramas are my thing.
Right, right.
This is probably the toughest drama I've ever done, in the sense of being the role being challenging, and just the
Hmm.
things that my character went through and what I had to embody, just in preparation to get ready for this role.
Mm.
Um, this role took me to some dark places,
Mm.
because like
Wow.
I said, when you're playing those characters, you kind of, some of the things when you can relate to them, you kind of mirror certain experience that you've had that are similar to certain things that they're going on a certain scene. So that this film, or this series, it took me to some places that I didn't necessarily want to go back to,
Oh,
but
oh, gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? We all have those times in our lives, but I'm like, man, but it was necessary, because I'm like, I know exactly what he's going through and how he's feeling. So
Hmm.
I'm like, I can give you real emotion. It's not me just trying to do it for the scene. I'm like, I can give you the real emotion. So
Right.
anytime I connect and give that, I'm like, I do. I have a
Wow.
lot of different scenarios I like to pull from. And
Yeah.
I never know which one is going to put me over the top until I get there
Yeah.
that day of. So you just kind of have different things you can draw from. And
That's cool, bro.
yeah, but Blended, man, stay tuned for that one. I
Yes.
believe I believe the trailer should be dropping soon. And
Nice, man.
man, I've seen a rough draft of it, and all I can say is get
Yeah.
ready, man. Get ready.
Yes,
It's woo,
man.
woo. It's I'm telling you, man, this is the one. This
Yeah,
is the
that's
one.
what's up, man.
This
Ronell,
is the
but
one.
she writes a lot, a lot. I haven't been fortunate to check out, but I've been following her work for quite some time just through social media. So I'm a fan, but I can't wait to check out some of this work because I know she'll be dropping some scripts, man, and they look like some deep stuff.
Absolutely.
So so
They
yeah,
are.
so I can't wait, man. That's exciting. So how can our listeners check out more of your work, my brother?
So more of my work, they can check me out on IMDb. It's just Troy D. Williams. I put the my middle initial in there just to kind of separate myself because there's other Troy Williams out there that are actors, which is crazy. Um, so when I first started
Yes.
my career, man, I wasn't getting my IMDb credits. I'm like, where are my credits going? I don't see them. They were getting tied to other Troy Williams. So I'm like, let me put this in there.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, you just they can just search me Troy D. Williams, man, on every platform. And that's where I'm at. I also have a link tree, Troy D. Williams,
Mhm.
where I have a lot of my links that you can see like different articles, different stories,
Okay.
news, publications, all those things, different films I have. All those things are like on Linktree. So if
Sweet,
you just
sweet.
type in Troy D. Williams in Google, a lot of that stuff comes up. That's what my sons have
Awesome, man.
showed me. They be
Awesome.
searching me on school and stuff. So
And I know you did a lot of training here in Orlando area. Are there any recommendations that you want to recommend to those listeners that maybe want to get into acting? Maybe whether it's books
uh
or different programs that you've done in town.
Yeah, so I used to train at Life of an Actor.
Okay.
Great class. I trained there for 5 years. So I kind of got what I needed, and now like I'm in a busy stage of life right now, but I'm looking for
Right.
somewhere else to start training as well.
Okay.
But that's a really good one. I think they have some online ones now as well that people can do
Oh,
if your life
nice.
is yeah, so and then I tried what I recommend for people to do, man. They do a lot of workshops and stuff online, man, where
Mm,
you can tie in. It's just like 1 day or so, where a few hours, but it's like intensive, where you're
hmm.
learning stuff. So I do a lot of the workshops now, man. Just learning how to
Okay.
audition for commercials better, just all these different things where I feel like I need to tighten up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I would say for sure.
Sweet, man. No, that's awesome, man. Uh, my brother, thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy schedule to bless us with your presence on this podcast. Again, I want to tell you, man, I'm a big fan of you as a father, as a husband. I'm a big fan of watching that. I'm a big fan as watching you as an actor and just your whole career and everything that you're doing, man. Thank you so much. Keep up the great work. I'm looking forward to working with you again myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you yet, but it's been a lot of thoughts going on. So I got a lot of projects coming up. I hope y'all be ready for it. But yes, man. Any final thoughts you want to leave with our listeners before we wrap this up?
Yeah, so I coupled with you and I, man. I think the last thing we worked on together was probably Drop, man. Which I
Oh
think
yeah.
what was that
Oh yeah.
like 2017, 2018? Like,
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Wow. It don't even seem like it was that long, but it's been a minute.
listen, man. Hey, listen, we made history with that show, though. That's all I can say,
Yes.
man.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully we can see it on a bigger platform one day.
That would be
I
nice,
think the
man.
show is still as good today as it was when it first came out. It's a show
Oh
that is
yeah.
popping.
Yes,
So
man. That was a
yeah,
fun experience. That was
and
a fun
I thank
experience.
you for that because I think you're the one who recommended me for that one. So I really appreciate
Oh,
that.
sweet, sweet, man. Yeah, Kenny, man, it's great people, man, from the University of Florida. We both went to Florida together. Man, he's doing his thing, man. So I'm gonna keep, supporting him, support Kenny. I'm gonna try to get him on here as well, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But yeah, man, no, that was a blessing, man. Thank you for coming on. You brought that flavor, you know what I'm saying, that we needed. So, you know what I'm saying? So that was
Appreciate you.
great.
Appreciate you, man. It's
Great
always a
stuff,
pleasure.
man.
Always a
Always
pleasure
a
breaking
pleasure,
bread with
man.
you.
Hey, you too, brother. Likewise, man. So I thank you again, man. And everyone stay tuned for more great episodes to come. Make sure y'all check out Troy D. Williams. I'm telling y'all, he's gonna be a force to reckon with soon, real soon. All right, brother. Be blessed now. All
Hey, you too, man. Send my regards to the family, man.
right, you too, brother. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Keep up that great work over there, man.
No
You
doubt.
you already great in my book, so just keep it up.
I appreciate that, man. I
All
appreciate that.
right, brother. I'll be in touch, man.